So last week we were not here last week, but I did something called compound interest. So I did compound interest and percentage increase. So I went through different methods you can use to solve questions that have to do with compound interest. So in functional level functional level 2 for maths, compound interest could come out in like two forms. The first section could come out as a non-calculator question. So I went through method you can actually use to do it when it's non-calculator. And I went through the same method and a different method you can actually use when it's a calculator question. So I did that one last week. And I went through something called depreciation. It's like the opposite of compound interest. So depreciation is actually when things like go down. But compound interest is when things goes up. So finally, last week I went through this thing too. I went through percentage increase and percentage decrease. Different methods you can actually use to do percentage increase. So the one that requires calculator and the ones that does not require calculator. So I went through those ones. So today, we are going to do something called percentage change. It's like a very common question. In fact, you meet it in uni, you meet it everywhere. It's a very common question. It's percentage change. So it's the final part of percentages. So it is possible to look at the difference between two numbers and work out the percentage increase or percentage decrease. So this is known as what? As percentage change. So you know this thing as percentage change. Okay, the person is no longer here now. So we know it to be what? Percentage change. So often goods are bought for one price and sold on for another. So for example, now if you buy goods for like £5 and you are selling for like £7, you could find the percentage profit because you bought it for £5 and you sell it for what? For £7. You've made a profit of £2. So you could be able to calculate the percentage profit of actually what you made. So the percentage change can be calculated by this method. So there's only one method you can use to calculate what? Percentage change. If you know the formula, everything becomes easy. You change, percentage change is calculated by dividing what? The difference between the two amounts divided by the original. So for example now, I told you earlier, if you buy something for £5 and you're selling it for what? For £7. The difference between 5 and 7 is 2. So you now divide it by the original amount. The original amount is, what's it called? Is the amount before the increase. That's the original amount. The amount before the increase is the original amount. So the amount before the increase is what? It's £5. That is just that. It's £5. So let's look at this first example. So a brush is bought at a car boot sale. Let me see, the person is not here yet. So a brush is bought at a car boot sales for £40. And it's later sold for £50. What is the percentage profit? So, like I told you earlier, the difference is what? You have to work out the difference first. The difference between 50 and 40 is 10. That's the change. You now divide it by the original amount. And I told you earlier that the original amount is the amount before the increase. So it was £40 before, but was now sold for what? For £50. So it's £40 is the original amount. So you divide 10 by 40, then you multiply it by what? By 100. So 10 divided by 40 is 1/4. That's 0.25. Multiplied by 100 is going to be what? It's going to be 25%. So 25% is the percentage profit. That means that you have made what? A profit of 25%. So let me just check this question again. No. So if you don't mind, I want you to try and do this question, company. So let me do this question for you before I ask you to do some other questions. A price of TV is £260. In they say it was decreased by 20%. Work out the price of the new price. Okay, that one is particularly decreased. So let me just look at it. Change directly. Yes. So this one, the Peter weight decreases from 80 to 64. Calculate the percentage decrease of Peter's weight. So it's going to be what? 80 minus 64. That's going to be what? 16. So the original amount before the increase was 80 pounds, 80 kg. So you divide the 16 by 80. So 16 by 80 is like 1/5. So 1/5 times 100, that's going to be 20%. So it decreased by what? By 20%. So 20. Don't forget, this is the original amount. The amount it was before the increase or decrease. That they call it the original amount. So that's it. So just put it there. So, sorry, can you do this one? Can you try question 9, please? Lydia, can you do it, please?
That's you have
It's a non-calculator question, so you don't have to use calculator for it.
for the car traveling. So you have to no, sorry. So the difference between two amounts is 16, isn't it?
Yes.
And then you have to divide it per divide by per 40.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, 40 is the original amount. So you have to divide by 40. Yeah.
So 16 divided by 40. This is the you have to give it in percentage, yeah? Sorry, I'm not thinking straight. You have to divide 16 per 40. And this is 16 per 4 is 4. 10. 30. This is 2. Not, is it 20? For 40%, is it?
Yeah, 16. What is I'm coming? When you divide 16, you divide 16 divided by 40,
Yes.
you simplify it. Like 16 divided by 40 is like 2/5. That's this thing. So now, times 100, that's going to be, times 100 is
Yeah.
going to be 40%. That's correct. So let's see
Mhm.
other questions. So what about the two questions here, 10 and 11? Done? Are you done? So Susan buys an attic for £120 and sold it for 216. So the difference between 120 and 216 is this: 216 minus 120, that is 96. So it's 96. So the original amount was 120. So if you divide by 120, that should be is 4/5.
Okay.
Yes, now multiply that. So 4/5 100. That's going to be what? 80%.
80%.
That's a big profit. Yeah, yeah, that's a big profit. So this other one too, you do it the same way. So let me just maybe there's any other add question there that okay, this one is similar. Yes. So I just want to pick the one with calculator.
That without the calculator, those questions, yeah.
Yeah, those questions I picked before was without the calculator. I just have to pick one with calculator so we can move on to a different one. The one with calculator. So I can just do 16 with calculator. Done? Is it tricky? So let me just do it because it's so long. So the difference between you change this one to 0.8 because you have to it has to be the same unit. So if you want to convert grams to kilogram, you divide by 1,000. So 0.8 divided by 1,000 is 800 divided by 1,000 is 0.8. So it's going to be 0.8 kg. So the difference is now what? 2.1 minus 0.8. So divided by 0.8, yes. So 2.1 minus 0.8, you can use a calculator for that. 2.1 minus 0.8, that is 1.3. Yes, divided by 0.8.
1.625.
Yeah, times 100.
Times 100 now.
Yeah, that is going to be what? 1625, 162.5%. That's a lot. You get it? And that's a lot. So
multiply by 100 to get the percentage, yeah?
Yeah.
I forgot about this. Yeah, I did one. All right.
Yeah. So it will give you assignment on it. Just pick those ones that you are actually, but to answer to, it comes out like this. It's normally like a 3-mark question you get in the functional scale exam. So it's very straightforward. If you just practice and practice, you will get better. So the second part is this. It's called reverse percentage. This is very common. In fact, there's no practice questions you will see reverse percentages here. This is a little bit more difficult than, let me just check who is there again. Okay, I don't think the person come back. So this one is a bit more difficult than normal percentages, like the percentage change is more difficult. So reverse percentage helps us work out the original price or value of an item after it has been increased or decreased in value. So the original price after it has been increased or decreased in value. So after it has been increased or decreased in value. So for example, now if you have been to like stores before, maybe Primark, the M&S and things like that, they tell you that if they are doing sales, they tell you that, oh, this price was £20 before, is now £10. Or they can tell you that 40% off. So you can now figure it out that, oh, how much do you think this cloth is? How much is it before before they decrease the price? So calculating reverse percentages, you can do it in two ways. If it comes out in calculator paper, there's a way you approach it. If it also comes out in a non-calculator paper, there's a way you also approach it. It's very straightforward. So calculating reverse percentage depends on knowing that before an increase or decrease, its item is always 100%. So before any increase or decrease, item is always worth 100% of its value. So for example, now a shop has a sale. A shop has a sale where 20% is taken off all prices. A top is now worth 24%. What is the price originally? So this is what you do for this one. You know, you said they have taken off 20%. So when I told you initially that the whole thing is worth 100%. So if they have taken 20% off it, so what you will do is this. You will do 100 minus 20. That gives you what? 80. That's 80%. So that means that 80% of its value is now 24. So what is the value before? So you now write it this way, that 80% equals to 24. So you now want to take it to 100%. So if 80% of something is 24, what is 100%? So the best way to do it is that you divide both of the sides by 8. So if you divide 80% by 8, you will get what? 10%. If you divide 24 by 8, you will get what? 3. So if 10% equals 3, that means that 100% will be equal to what? To 30. Because you multiply both sides by 10 to get 100. That is it. 100% is what? Equals to 30. So this one is very useful if it comes out in non-calculator. So that's it. You do this one, can use the method 100 minus this equals to this. That means that 80% is what? Is 24. So from there to find out 100%, just divide both sides. If this one, if it's calculator, you can do this one. So divide both sides by what's called by 80, you get 1%. This one. So multiply by 100. The answer is going to be what? It's going to be 30. So that is 30% is it. So that is that's for. Let me do some examples, some questions here, so you can get it better. This is calculator. I don't want to use calculator now. I want to do this one now. Look at this one. It said that Jacob buys a watch costing this. This watch includes VAT at what? At 20%. That means that he said, how much is the watch without VAT? So VAT is 20%. Is okay now. So what you need to do in this case, basically, I'm coming. I want to see the one that is so direct with the one I just finished doing. So maybe that one will help you first than this one's. Just give me a sec. I'm going to get it for you now. I'm coming. Look at this one now. It's a group of people in the driving test. A lot of people sit their driving test, and 24 people passed. 24 people passed. 80% of people passed. So if they say that 24 people passed, and that 24 represents what? 80%. So that means that you have to do what? 80%, just similar to actually what we did before, equals to what? Equals to 24. So for you to find out 100%, just do both of them divided by 8. Divided by 8. Then you know that it's going to be what? 10% will be equal to 3. Then 100% will now be equal to 30. So can you try question 2, please? Try this question 2. Are you there? The 30% of the members of tennis club are pensioners. 36 are pensioners. So that means that 30% equals to 36. So you now find 100%. Do you get it?
100%.
So it's going to be 30%, because it told you that 30% of members of a tennis club are pensioners and 36 are pensioners. So 30% equals to what? Equals to 36. So for you to now find out what is 10%. Divide both sides by 3. So it's going to be what? 10% will be equal to what? 12. So 100% will now be equal to what?
120, yeah.
Yeah, 120, yes. Thank you. So can you try question 1?
That's hold on.
So 20% of all children in the class.
20.
Hmm?
Is it 20?
So 20% of all children in the class are this. Yeah, it's 20, yeah. It's 20.
20% is
Mm-hmm.
40. Then when you divide 20%, you want 10%.
Yeah. Just give me 1 sec, please.
Sorry.
Okay. No more. I'm one office. My wife, okay. My wife, so sorry, I'm sorry. Just so you want to try? Can you say a population of an island decreased by 40% over 50 years? So in 2018, the population was 360, and the population, and what was the population in 1968? So that means that it decreased for 40% over 50 years. So that means that it was this. So you just need to say 100 minus 40. That's what? 100 minus 40, because it decreased. 100 minus 40 equals to what? 60. That means that 60% equals to what? Equals to 360. So what is now 100%? Done?
No, it's wrong. Sorry.
Done? So if 60% equals to 360, then 10% will be equal to what? Divided by 6.
60.
That's going to be 60. So 100% will now be equal to 600.
That's what I did, and then
Yeah.
600.
Yeah, it's going to be 600. So let me just teach you a different method now. You can actually use.
That's the answer, 600.
Yes, please.
That's what
That's what you got?
I thought. I wrote that, but I thought it's wrong.
No. So another method is this. When you take away 100 minus 40, you get 60.
Yeah.
Now change this one to decimal. What is 60% to decimal? Is 0.6.
0.6, yeah.
Yeah, it's 0.6. So you now do with the calculator, do 360 divided by 0.6.
Yes.
What do you get?
60. Just a moment.
Sorry, what do you get?
So, but is the answer that the population in 1968 was 600?
Yes.
So, but
Yeah. So when you divide 360 by 0.6, what do you get in your calculator?
600.
Yeah. So you can use any of the two methods.
And then 600 is the answer, but it says that the population was 360.
Yeah, he said it was 360 in this.
Sorry. All
Yes,
right, I
yes.
can't read. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So let's try this one more.
I did it like that.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
know you didn't read it. Yeah. So it was 600 before, so it now decreased
Yes,
to what?
that will be done, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it says it decreased and it was less in 2018. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Was the population before, right?
So look at this one too. Simet buys a watch. 20%
Mm-hmm.
VAT is added to the price of the watch. So Siemens then has to pay £60. So when you add 20% to it, that means that you add 100 plus 20, that's 120. So it's going to be what? 120% equals to 60. So what is the price of the watch with no VAT? So what you have to do is that we find the 10% first, divide both sides by 12. So 120 divided by 12 is 10. So it's going to be what, 10%. Then this one is 5. So 10% equals to 5. So 100 will be equal to what? 50.
50.
So that means that it was £50 without VAT. So let me just. So if you want to use the second method too, just change this 120 to decimal. 120% to decimal is going to be equal to what? It's going to be equal to 1.2. Now divide 60 by 1.2.
60 divided by 1. This is another method. Okay. That's 50.
60 divided by 1.2 is what?
It's 50. 60 divided
Yeah.
by 1.2 is 50.
Is 50. So you can use any of this. So the second method that you have to divide, you can use that one when you have to use calculator.
Right.
So the ones I told you before, when it's non-calculator, that is when you use that. So it depends on anyone. You actually prefer. So let me just ask you to do. So can you do question 10? Then we'll wrap it up. Question 10. So you see, as 68 books, the number of books is 70% more than the number of books she had last year. So when you say more, you have to add that 70% to what? To 100. So when it has increased, you add it. So you can now change that one to what? To decimal. Then you now divide it. That's it. Done? Are you done?
I'm not sorry.
So you change, like I told you, it's increase. So it's going to be what? 100 plus 70. That's 170. You know, 170 to decimal has going to be 1.7. Now divide 68 by 1.7.
Can you tell me again? I'm sorry, I'm not thinking straight today. Will you
no,
explain? Sorry about that.
no
Will you
problem. So when
explain
it's
once again,
increased,
please?
when it's increased, just add the percentage together. You get it? And when it's increased, just add the percentage together. When it's a decrease, you take it away from 100. That is it. So
Right, when is the cruise take it from 100?
you get it? So that is it. So it's not. So when you practice, you get it better. It's okay. So I will
I
send
hope
something to the.
so. I can fix it, I'm sorry. Yeah, I will
So
need to some more practice, yeah.
yeah. No problem. I will send it to the group chat. It's okay. So you can see the questions there.
Yes,
No
yes,
problem.
please. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.